Hey, my people, what's going on? This is Major. You're tuning to Major TV. Let's talk. This is where real engagement and conversation with the black community begin. There is an interesting article that come out about the Biden administration awarding immigrants at the border for being separated from their families, 450,000 each. It's a lawsuit that had been filed against the Trump administration that fell in lap of the Biden administration. This is such a slap in the black community face. But let me go into reading the article first before I do any commentary. Biden administration considering giving 450,000 per person to immigrants separated at the border. There are still 1,727 children have not been reunited with their families since being separated under the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy. Biden administration could pay up to $1 billion to immigrants' families that were separated at the U.S. Mexican border during the Trump administration. According to the Wall Street Journal, Department of Justice and Homeland Security and Health and Human Resources ended up paying out close to $1 million per family that was separated at the border. Sources told the Journal that around $450,000 per person is being considered, but that figure could change depending on each family's circumstances. Discussions of payouts have taken place over the course of the past few months between lawyers representing immigrant families that are suing the federal government and the government's own lawyers, according to the Journal. Some government lawyers apparently view the payout amounts excessive. Marco Scherlinger, Homeland Security Officer for Civil Rights and Civil Liberties during the Obama administration, told the Journal, damaged class actions in this case, in this kind of case, are pretty rare. It's hard to think of a recent comparison. The American Civil Union, the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, is representing multiple families in lawsuit over Trump administration's zero tolerance policy. In January, it issued a statement urging that incoming Biden administration to act quickly on the issue. Incoming administration must reunite the separated families in the United States, but we cannot stop there. These families deserve citizenship, resources, care, and commitment. That family separation will never happen again. The Biden administration created interagency task force on the reunification of families, and as latest press report recent September confirmed that it had reunited 50 children separated from their parents and provided access to behavior health services. According to 2,171 children have been reunified through a court order and from the efforts of non-governmental organizations. However, the same report confirmed 1,727 children have not yet been reunited with their families, according accounting for 33% of all those identified as separated from their parents by Homeland Security Department under Trump administration's zero tolerance policy. The ACLU is still battling its lawsuit with the Biden administration, according to the Journal. Not all the family is represented will be eligible for potential financial settlement. Office of Inspector General conducted a review of Justice Department zero tolerance policy and found that under former Attorney General Jeff Sessions, the agency failed to effectively prepare for or manage the implementation of zero tolerance policy. Look, this is big. It's extremely big because we're dealing with people that came over illegally. We know historically this is their land, our land, you know, and we know about the Mexican and American war and whatnot, and the settlement and agreement, decree and whatnot. That America, if you don't know, say they would agree to accept only the white Mexicans and not the black Mexicans. But they took their land, right? Our land. And when I say our, black people's a part of this too, because they don't talk about the black Mexicans. They don't talk about, what I'm saying, black people in the sense of, and I want to say melanated really, because black is really a racist term, but for the sake of conversation, right? They don't talk about those black people. But to make a long story short, they have classified illegal immigrants, right? You have people that's already over here, melanated people, black people, for sake of conversation, that are homeless, that are poor, that's been discriminated against, been placed in prisons, and killed. We have not received reparations despite everybody speaking about it, even white people to a certain degree. The argument with what happened at the border with the government, I don't see nothing wrong with them arguing and filing lawsuit, right? Even though it's considered illegal, or how they went about doing it and separating the family is a real issue. Right now, I'm concerned about black people in America that for a long time have experienced slavery, after post-slavery, Jim Crow, the redlining, the predatory lending, destruction of many black, promising, great neighborhoods and towns and cities. We're talking about discrimination in school, miseducation in school. We're talking about a system that focuses on incarcerating us and still keeping slavery alive. We're talking about a system that will pull black people over driving black, then case on them, possibly beat them or kill them. We're talking about discrimination in the workplace. We're talking about an inherent problem of a major generational, I don't say generation, I'm gonna say generate a big old gap increase, right? Because of how they held us back. We dealing with poverty at higher levels, unemployment at higher levels. Everybody can come over here and benefit except the people that helped build this country, the original people that was here. This is an insult. This is sad for many black Democrats and black people that pushed to vote for Biden and support the Biden administration right now today. They consider global assault of COVID-19 on our community and just the overall lack of just having sympathy and looking at what's going on. But we know behind this machine is racism. We know behind the machine is degradation, intimidation. Um, it's sad how we've been subjugated and still enslaved in so many ways. How we've been misled, and those who speak up are silenced. Those who stand up are put in jail or killed. And we have to deal with the situation of watching people that come over here considered illegal and get the benefits we've been fighting for so long. And as I'm studying more and more about reparations, looking at different tribunals, racial documentation, look at the black farmers and what have you, how they fight with the USDA and the government of getting these so-called 1.25 billion, and how they paying people out and how they saying that it wasn't filed on time and you're blocked or barred. And I mean, just we have to fight. I mean, tooth nail, scrap. We got to put up. We gotta be our arms and make noise to get their attention. We gotta do all this to still be put in jail. To still be said we gotta wait. The Democrats got the answer. I want to definitely break down Democrats, Republicans real soon. I gotta really go there, and I want to put together a nice piece on it. So I might take my time. But it's sad to see because I don't wish bad on nobody. I know Mexico going through what they're going through, right? But we know that a lot of immigrants that come over here and look at us differently. You know what I'm saying? They treat us differently. A lot of times they side with the power struggle. I don't wish bad on nobody. But for our people, we deal with so much bad that people don't talk about. I don't hear no messages of nobody and immigrants really talking about how we've been discriminated against, how with the gentrification, how black people being pushed out of these cities, how when employment is so hard, keep a job, how they play these games with us, and how they want to play us so less. And I must admit, I know COVID had a dual effect for some people. It devastating for some people. They winning to my black people. But I'm gonna say this: when it's all said and done, we the only people that really suffer more than everybody. And I was talking to my accountant, right? He was like, because me and him, the guys on YouTube channel, we be talking, right? He was telling me like, he was just saying how a lot of time things happen to us is our fault, and I agree partly. But I thought he was saying, man, not all white people, not all Asians, not all um Arabs will be doing good. Some are poor. I said I agree, and I went deep on him on some stuff, and I got to see my partner, right? But I said, let's say we got a white man, Asian, Arab, or Middle Eastern, um, Mexican, Latino, Black. Who you think they gonna? Who you think gonna treat worse? And I'm not saying Latinos or Mexicans, other groups don't go through, don't experience some form of racism, because I know they do. But in the end, we the last to be considered, because this is not like saying nobody deserves justice other people. I'm for um non-white people, period. You know what I'm saying? Non-white people, period. When and knowing that we're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, racism. But there's a colorization game going on where you don't see the darker people with Asians and Arabs and all this other stuff, Indian, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You see the light, paler, even Mexicans, the white ones, because in everything they consider in every race and group, black, white. And they see the Asians like yellow or whatever they call them, but then black and white, because black Asians you never see. So this article is very deep about the health care they're talking about giving them, uh, the money, the systems, and what have, and it's showing deep sympathy for the separation from family, from their kids. I get it. That wasn't right. What about what happened with us in slavery? What about what happened with us? What about what happened to us throughout this 200 period or what that? These 400 years. I don't even want to go that deep, right? I just want to just talk to my people, right? But this we have to deal with every day of our life. Watching people like the ad gams come over here, all the mad, getting all the benefits. You have many homeless people, especially black people, that I'm talking about. That's devastated by the very thing that put in place to keep us distracted, keep their foot on us and so forth. So on. I've been told since I was very young and remind people we know there's poor white people, but we also remember that it's really built from the win. You know what I'm saying? They just gotta know how to navigate and they gotta know how to play the game. For us, it's not built for us to win. We have to learn how to know navigate. But playing by the game sometimes can be you compromising too much. But I get and understand that we have to do that sometimes. But there is a new age and day where people speaking out, and things that Jim J doing, which he had did, and a lot of other sisters and brothers that have spoke out over the years. We have to keep this going on, but It's sad, it's disappointing, and I really believe that some have to give. Some gonna have to give because we can't keep taking these L's and look the other way and allow a lot of black politicians and black leaders and black people be promoting the difference between Republicans and Democrats when none of them not doing anything for us. So hey, I just want to share this article with you. Thank you for checking the audio out. Thank you for just rocking with Major TV. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't been subscribed already, hit the notification button. I'm dropping content all the time. It's all about addressing our social, economical um disadvantages that we're dealing with and addressing things that the media don't want to address. That's our job. So thank you for all love and support. Stay focused, stay on cool, just be black.